Hello, welcome. I'm gonna move this back. So I just realized that
It looks like it's. Oh, there it goes.
does it need to be closer?
I don't know. Looks good to me.
Okay,
It's fine.
Okay.
So it said
Hello.
Pacific time.
Oh.
But it's. Is that dark
Okay.
now?
He's getting dark. Okay.
It's adjusting.
It is. So it said Pacific time on the scheduled live, but it was supposed to be Mountain time. So welcome to whoever has joined in. Please feel free to say hello in the chat over there.
And for those of you that were going to actually be on time at the right time,
we're sorry.
Sorry.
At least we made it. So
this almost didn't happen today.
Yes. But we're going to be changing our little poster right here that says vlog every Tuesday to vlog every Wednesday, because we've done
Ahoy,
it for
Captain Jack.
2 weeks in a row on Wednesday. And so we go, okay, Wednesdays are what is working. Let's stick with what is working. So, hey, Captain Jack. It's been quite a week. Hello, Stacy. Let's see. I'm going to move this maybe a little closer. It keeps going dark.
It's going to with the light in the background.
Okay, should we close these then? Skyen is wandering. Oh, she must not have found her Lego piece. We're at the park. And hey, YV6Eda. Hello. So we are at the park. Skyen was actually looking for a little Lego piece that she lost here the other day. And it has been one heck of a week.
Mm-hmm.
Travis is looking human again.
Yep, I ended up getting this really crazy rash in my eye that swelled up, and then we put I guess I'm allergic to chaparral, so it swelled up my whole face and my eye was all closed, and now I've got this crazy heat rash that I can't go in the sun, and it's I'm not one for complaining, but it's been I'm waiting for it to be done.
Hello, Mr. Lee.
And Zion and Skyen both had the stomach bug, so
yeah. So
we spent
a rough week. Vending at a place called Tyson Wells in Quartzsite, Arizona. We were kind of on like the side aisle, and but it went really well. The right people found us. I made a ton of like immune building and quartzite crud remedies, so that was awesome.
Find anything?
Skyen is saying hello. So, and we were still detoxing when this whole thing started. Is there something on my face? You're looking at me like
your lips are really dry.
My lips are really dry. Should put some salve on before doing a YouTube live, huh?
We're all natural.
We're a little rough this week. We're a little rough around the edges, and that's just kind of how it is. When hey y'all, hey Mark, and the tutor bug. So yeah, it's good. We're
It hurts to smile, so I'm trying not to smile because it just cracks. All of my face is dry.
Poor Travis has been quite the he's been handling this. It's been going on 8 days now. His face swelling, rashing, drying out, swelling, rashing, drying out.
Yeah, and it itches and you can't touch it.
We finally figured out
kind of lay there stiff.
That it was chaparral.
Like, try to take yourself to another place.
So I have to make all new products. I have to make an all new salve. I have to make an all new infusions. I have to make all new things so that Travis can use them, because we've narrowed it down that it is the chaparral that originally caused this.
That's today's guess anyway. We'll see what happens tomorrow. It's day by day. Somebody gave me my skin was really dry, so a friend of ours gave me some
of their salve
that had it in it, and I like put it all on, and I went outside. I got it all over my face, and I was like, oh, it's so nice to be out in the warm sun. And I was like, man, I feel like I'm, lubing myself up for a barbecue or something. And it turns out I was, because it like opened my pores and soaked into my skin and just made everything really bad. So
yeah,
bad idea.
We're learning. But as far as vending went really well, the people that got the tinctures and my blends from me the past 10 days that we were there were really happy and really excited at how quickly they worked. Oh, would you like a little washcloth?
Yeah, go ahead. Use it. Oh.
And so we were continuing on our detox. Let's see, was it 2 days ago? 2 days ago, we splurged and had Mexican food. Barbecue did sound good until that, right? Mark says, right? Yeah. And Kona's under the table staring at me.
Well, it was Steph's idea to go eat out at a restaurant, not mine.
Yeah, Travis was like, no, I will stick with fruits and vegetables. And I was like, I would like some Mexican food. We vended for 10 days. We ran out of fresh produce, and I just wanted something immediate. 5 hours later, we finally got Mexican food. So we had grains, we had corn and rice. And then the next day, Zion got the stomach bug. I don't believe it was a correlation, because Skyanne had gotten it earlier. All the other kids had been getting it.
See, my idea was that we were going to do this for the year. We were going to eat healthy, but I guess a weekend Steph changed her mind. Goes, we can go have food. So, but I don't think I'm going to next time, because it really didn't taste that great. It wasn't that amazing.
Come on, the rice was good.
Skyanne loves rice, so she likes rice. I will not be I won't have a vending booth set up at Schoolie Palooza because I did not get the BLM permit to vend there. But if anybody orders anything, everyone is getting sick, right?
Every time.
Because I'm thinking. If
anybody needs anything, they know where to find us.
Yeah. So if somebody wants to order something on Facebook or, through our website or whatever, then I'll just be delivering it to them there rather than mailing it out. Mark says everyone is getting sick.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, the flu shots, I'm sure have
if they're not getting
started.
sick, they have gotten sick. And I think that's kind of how the kids got it. I'm not sick. I just have this skin rash because I decided to douse myself with chaparral that I didn't know I was allergic to. So I'm just really dry and scratchy and itchy.
Mark
Luckily,
says
I'm not
cauliflower
contagious.
rice. We'll have to give that one a try.
Oh yeah. Good. Well, we're doing like almond flour, so we are doing some processed foods in that sense, but they're leaning towards organic. I don't know how almonds. It takes a gallon of water to make an almond. I don't know if we should do almonds anymore either.
Right, it's not very sustainable.
How far do you go down the rabbit hole is the question.
Well, that's why we're still working on our acorn flour.
That's Sev?
No.
Is it Sev?
Yep, I think that's Sev.
It looks like Sev. Sev just came to join us. Imagine that. So
it's good to see you're feeling better as I am.
When you're in Quartzsite, it's such a small town that like your friends, you're always just like, and I told them that we were going to be at the park for a little bit doing a vlog. So, but yeah, Quartzsite is such a crazy place. There's so much community here. There's so many people here. Like you end up crossing paths with people all day. And it's just a really neat little weird thing that happens in the middle of winter. So
what was it?
I need that.
What else is going on? So it's been quite a week.
On your neck?
I've been blogging every night. I did not blog last night, so I've got to finish the blog and get it out today. But it's been really interesting how drastic every day goes. It seems like Travis is getting better. He has energy, and then it's like something will happen.
Thanks for joining us, Mr. Lee. We'll see you next time.
See you later. It's just kind of amazing how, as we're making these choices to like better our lives and to eat clean and to clean out our bodies and to detox, and we're doing like a parasite and protozoa detox.
Oh, thank you, Sky.
And Travis, mentioned last week that he's not drinking and smoking anymore, and so it's like we're doing.
Also, by the way, I'm doing great. 15 days in, and can you pick that up, please? And I'm doing just fine, other than my discomforts. But I think this is part of the detoxing, and I thought that maybe this is 20 years of drinking and smoking finally purging my body. So yeah, it can be painful and maybe discomforting, but I don't think you can just walk away from something like that, skipping, smiling, and whistling. So, what are you getting?
No, I'm just tearing off his bed.
There's Zion saying hi. You gonna say hi?
Never.
He's feeling better. Yesterday he had a fever all day, and then this morning he woke up not feeling good. We've got to change this camera scenario.
What's wrong with it? Is it light dark?
Everybody kicks the table and it's just all shaky. No, there's no earthquakes here in Arizona.
Come here. Oh, you want to sit here? Okay. Oh gosh. Congrats. Keep on the wagon.
Yeah, thanks, Captain Jack.
Yeah.
I won't have any problem with this because I've been soul searching for this spiritual journey for a long time. This is many, many years in the making. And I finally mustered enough courage to take it on, and there's really no turning back for me because, yeah, I think that says it all.
Yeah. So it's been a I don't know if it's been a rough week. It's been a interestingly not easy.
It's been rough for me. Painful and itchy, and I haven't slept worth anything, and I've always got to can't go outside, so I'm stuck in the house because the sun makes it irritating, but what's Mark say?
Mark was saying how many years of free he's been. So, and by the way, if you're watching the recording of this and you're watching it not on YouTube or on your phone, you won't be able to see the chat and the comments. So you have to actually log in to like a PC in order to see all the comments. So just a heads up that if you're like watching on a mobile device or through Facebook, the chat comments are not going to be there. But if you hop onto a PC or if you have access to one and you want to be reading all the comments, that's where they are.
Okay. Moving on. Where did we leave off last week?
Oh, I don't even know.
We went over our diet, what we're doing.
Yeah.
Everybody is sick. This coming week is Schoolie Palooza, so we'll be showing up there in the next couple days.
Yeah.
And getting ready to, volunteer for that event, whatever needs to be done to kind of orchestrate or build a community there.
Yeah, so I'll be
what our hopes are for that.
Building a schedule full of all the people that are going to be doing workshops there. We've got a lot of events like potlucks and dance nights and movie nights and stuff like that individuals are coordinating themselves, thank goodness.
We're going to be playing kickball.
Yep.
I wanted to play wiffle ball, but I couldn't get
wiffle
my hands on a wiffle ball.
And we're hoping to have like a whole kids area with like connects and stuff out there. And so it's exciting to be heading into a new community event. It's been, I had to kind of like step away from it for a little bit because there was some background politics, but I'm gearing up and I'm getting excited to go because there's a ton of friends that we met last year that really inspired and encouraged us to be and get a bus and to join the bus life. So to connect with all of those friends that we made last year, we're really like looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis has been saying all year how he's like excited to be more involved and do more video at Schoolie Palooza and stuff like that. So
we'll see how it goes.
Sometimes when he gets there, he forgets.
No, I mean, it's about living in the experience, but I think that's great, Mark. It's good to hear that you're doing well.
Hold on.
You can't sit on the
table. Can you actually go get your Legos out, guys?
So, I mean, a day like today, I'm just kind of like, I'm not interested in doing much of anything, or taking the time to do, I'm not really that motivated because I can't do much of anything. So, it's days like today where you don't spend the day trying to figure out what to do or how to do it, because then you're just kind of poisoning the well for the days to come. So
yeah, you don't make goals on days like today.
I'm just biding my time and taking it moment by moment. And then when tomorrow starts, hopefully that'll be a better day and I can actually take advantage of that and get stuff done. But that's one thing I noticed. I'm not sure if we talked about that last time or if that was just something I had discussed, is that when you're motivated to do something, or when you have a sense of enlightenment and you're like, oh, that's the right thing to do, and I know it. When you're motivated, you start pursuing it and you do it. And when you're highly focused and aware of that, you pursue it, right? And then some time goes by and then you go, oh man, I don't know. Well, when you start to go, I don't know, is when you need to just take a step back, because there's other factors in life that are making you feel, your mind may be foggy or you're not actually motivated to do it at that time. So then you start to, take it back, on yourself. But that's when you just walk away for a minute, knowing that when you were in your right state of mind, you were right the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So, don't second guess yourself. Because when you know you're right with clarity, pursue that. And the days you don't feel right, just do something else.
So Stacy just asked you, try to grow food on the bus as well as foraging.
I was going to put a small planter box in the window and maybe something on the top of the bus. But as far as food goes, I think we might only be doing herbs.
So I'm a brown thumb when it comes to gardening. I kill everything, literally. I had a rosemary plant that I killed. So I need you to stop hitting the table, please. I stick with nature. Nature knows how to grow it. Nature knows how to make it hardy. The second I try to plant a seed, it never seems to go well. So for me personally, I will only be foraging. And with our nomadic lifestyle of really being able to go to where there is stuff in season constantly, it works well for us because we can forage, there's no elderberries here, we can go forage where there are. There's limited space on the bus, so it's kind of one of those things that, like in survival situations where you have to have one thing that does three things. So if we had a planter box in that sense, it would have to be somewhat of like a water catch that's a filtration system, that's growing something that doesn't take much effort to take care of, being that, we're driving and it's temperamental to the weather that we're in and whatnot. So, kind of know. We need to close that. So there is lots. We thought coming to the park would be a fantastic place to do a vlog because the children would be able to go run out at the park and play. And there would be ample time for Travis and I to sit and gather our thoughts. But bus life sometimes is not as planning in a bus does not always go as planned. So
no.
And even today we were like, okay, Wednesday is, I need you to stop touching the table, please. Wednesday we're gonna do a vlog. We were gonna do it at 9 a.m. but like the kids had friends that they could hang out with at 9 a.m. so we moved it to noon. And then we tried to go take showers and the showers were all filled and we had to wait to take showers. So we're like, okay, let's go run a few more errands before the vlog. And now the vlog is getting in the way of trying to do everything else that we need to do. And that's just kind of this week. So
I at first when we were talking about doing it, I was like, I just don't want to do this. I thought that would be the topic of this vlog, is how it gets in the way of life. And I often question myself, why are we still making these videos? Why are we doing this? And I still don't know. I'm just trusting my intuition and my instinct that we should be doing this for whatever reason and sharing our lives with the world. And I don't know why it gets in the way. It's off, it's bothersome at times, but sitting here with you guys and chatting, kind of makes it worth it. I feel a little bit better than I did
saying a lot, 'cause
20 minutes ago.
There's Pixie.
There they are.
Oh, awesome!
Bye-bye,
Let's see if
Mommy.
you see this bus roll in behind us here.
Let's see what. There it is. Yay!
I didn't see Rusty talking
Close the
about
door behind you.
All right.
I heard this was bus parking.
I'll let them know.
Here, let them know that. So again, Quartzite, we had two friends show up at the park just because we were like, hey, we're gonna go to the park and go do a vlog, and they just keep showing up. So I love it. Now the kids will have kids to play with, and they're very happy. And maybe we could think more clearly. So the detox, I have actually been. My own symptoms, I've been really clear-headed, but today, I guess maybe it started yesterday a little bit too. So I have a feeling it is the grains, maybe the rice and the corn that we consumed at the Mexican food restaurant. But yesterday and today, I was not as clear-headed. I'd been super clear in my thinking, in my thought processes. And starting yesterday, it was just like I couldn't figure out what I was doing or what was going on. And we were going to go into town, but we didn't. And it's kind of the same thing today. You could probably notice Zion pointed it out even. He's like, why do you keep saying Because my brain is just not thinking as clearly as it has been for the past 2 weeks.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I think the corn had something to do with that.
Could be. I thought that might have been why the kids got sick. Because they,
Skyen was sick
processed
before.
food. So there was really nothing special about it. I can make food that tasted better than that food. I think Steph just likes the idea of not having to do the dishes or
and cook
food and all that stuff. So
I'm not a big fan of cooking.
Yeah.
Or dishes or cleaning or anything that goes into meal prep. Hence why I forage. Because I enjoy walking around and picking things off of trees and eating them.
Yeah, I think we all find ourselves chasing our tail, in one sense or another, Because
hey, Mark, watch it. I'm actually quite the thinker here.
Occasionally.
He's the analytical one. I'm more of the planner. We have both very distinct types of thinking processes, though. I can think clearly in one direction. He thinks in the analytical, planning, building aspects.
Yeah, I'd be more leaning towards the engineer side of things, which works for what we're doing as far as building the bus and maintaining it. I'm not only the driver, but I'm the fixer of it, so the operator.
Yeah.
And that goes for all things in our life.
And the bus and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a very clear, I feel like there's a very clear line in the sand right now in our lives of like, okay, no more restaurants, no more, like, and it's not that, it made a really distinct difference in our lives. Like literally right when we finished eating at the restaurant, it was like, ooh, should we go have dessert? Like Travis was like, oh man, I was so good with not even thinking about dessert. And now I want dessert. And then
in that scenario, but now that time has passed, it's like I'm not interested in stepping foot in another restaurant.
Yeah.
It's just not.
I think it was needed 14 days into our detox, and it was a very clear, it made a very distinct and clear impression on like, no, this food is not
and it was
pure.
expensive. We spent like $44 on, so I could have made $7. I could have made us tacos at home, but
yeah, Captain Jack was talking about he's unable to go to Schoolie Palooza. We'll have to check out your video, Captain Jack, and
oh, that's a
see
bummer.
that.
So you're not gonna be able to make it to the Schoolie Palooza.
Bummer.
Not this year. Well, there's also the Schoolie Swarm happening in Florida in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's
too. So
a lot of people from Schoolie Palooza head to Schoolie Swarm after.
Mm-hmm.
But that might be closer to you, Captain Jack. You might be able to make it down there or make it to there. Florida's still, we drove through Florida. It took forever. It's still a long trip.
Mm-hmm.
So, so we're just making choices in our lives and seeing very distinctly the immediate impacts that they're having.
That's the idea of becoming, by cleansing and being clear, is that then you can really see the effect of little things that you bring into your life and what it does to you.
Yeah.
So like in that sense of eating that food, it definitely made a difference. You immediately went, oh, I want more of this junk food, even though it wasn't like that great.
Right.
You're right. I was full and I was like, man, I could eat another plate of that. But I was like, man, I wasn't that happy with it. So it was really interesting, like listening to your body and then listening to your mind, and then you're confusing each other. They're both having these conversations of, flavor and whatnot, and then that's what you come up with. So, I mean, what works right is for me, I guess, is just trusting that my intuition.
Well, and I think a big problem that happened, we were vending. We stayed. We didn't leave to go to the grocery store. So we were out of produce. We were out of healthy food that we had been eating. And my brain went into scarcity mode. And I felt it. It was like, I'm in lack. I don't have any nutrients. I don't have any food.
Yeah, she started freaking out.
And so it was like, I need to go to a restaurant where there was food. I need to go eat now and have it ready for me. And so it was really interesting to see how, and yet I hadn't been hungry for that 10 days. We had barely been eating.
It's because we were eating, cantaloupes and apples, and I was making breakfast.
Right.
And stuff.
So just really interesting.
It's an interesting thought. Yeah.
Being hyper aware of your mindset and what your mindset can do to your actions and how it can sabotage you.
And I wanted to take that a step further from eating and listening to your intuition. My intuition told me that I didn't want the chaparral oil on my face, but I'm like, okay, don't listen to that. Just trust, So I trusted in Steph's remedies, but it turns out none of us knew that I was allergic to it, right? So now we have to make new remedies so that I can fix this, but you can't just whip stuff like that up. You have to have the plants in hand. At least for yet, maybe next year we'll have twice the size of the apothecary to do it. So we don't have the stuff to make this go away at the moment. So I just got to write it out. But trusting my intuition, the same thing with the salve that I got that I rubbed all over myself. I'm like, I shouldn't do this because I don't like these types of things anyway. They're oily. I don't want to do it. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to trust it because my friend brought it over for me. So I should use it. So it's like the universe giving it to me in a sense, even though I didn't want it. So now it's like really listening to that instinct is important without peer pressure, and I think in the same sense, the universe is peer pressuring you when it gives you something. Here, try this, but it doesn't mean you have. Yeah, it doesn't mean you
trust.
You have to trust yourself. You are. I think that's the important thing. Is if I would have went along with those lines, I wouldn't have had this rough week. I don't think so.
No, and Travis was like, we should not go eat tacos. In fact, he drove by the place twice, and I was like, I want tacos. And he was like, we should not go. And I just kept like throwing my little temper tantrum of like, I want my food now.
Yeah.
And I got my way and we all suffered. So, but it's
another learning experience, so it's great.
Because the awareness of it came
now
through.
You really know that it's very unnecessary, and it's just like, it's called laziness. That's what all that is being lazy.
Yeah. So yeah, so I think that's where we're at. We're a little distracted and a little all over the place this week. But this is really why we wanted to do weekly vlogs, because if we would have skipped this week, we would not have not only the ability to connect with all of you lovely people that showed up.
Try to capture the clarity.
Or not.
Or whatever chaos ensues in the moment. But it's hard. We're thinking, doing it by the week. There's so much that happened during the week that it's hard to like, the ups and downs or back and forths or thoughts.
Yeah, we've juggled around the idea of doing a daily vlog.
It's just a lot of work.
And by the time the evenings come, there's no cell service anymore because everybody's on their like cell phone and watching their movies once dark happens. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, do we just go over the day before? Do we start in the morning? So we're trying to figure out what would be the best plan. Do we just do like a 5-minute daily thing? Do we do? We're in the works as to what it is that we're doing. We finally made it to 2 weeks.
Well, we still don't know what we're doing. We're just doing it. So that's trusting your intuition.
Got to change to just doing it. Yeah. So, but like, do we keep it at the same time every day? These are all the things that my brain does.
Yeah, but none of that really matters. Just doing it is important. So,
yeah.
Anything else? What do we got over here? I see some comments came in.
Yeah. So we had a couple comments about like eating out is okay every once in a while, or even last week it was like everything's okay in moderation. And then Captain Jack was saying that like even the mom and pop places use like MSG or chemicals or natural flavoring.
And I love those types of hole in the wall places are the best places to eat. But now it's tough. I don't know, at the moment, it doesn't mean things are going to change.
Right.
That's the beauty of life. We can do whatever we want, whenever we want. But at the moment, I think we're just going to try to stay away from that scenario for the longest time. And it helps us even better get into eating the foraged foods, because I've noticed the palate changes when you're eating just fruits and vegetables. And when you have our friend Sev brought us over, what was it, a date? He brought us over these like really sweet dates. And I never really cared for dates, I don't think.
No,
but he gave me one, and I was like, wow, this is really. It's like it tasted like a caramel.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, this is really interesting. How just amazing that the flavor changes when you're not eating, M&Ms. You're eating dates
or drinking Dr. Pepper. Like it's a huge thing of your body being able to taste things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks, Captain Jack. He said my brain matters. Matters. Haha. So Stacy's saying I'm working on replacing bad habits with good. Soda pop is my last bad habit to give up. I gave that up when the kids were pretty little, but Travis just gave that up along with everything else at the new year.
Last year I was drinking soda just because it was a sweet treat throughout the day. I'd have one or two. But I never liked the way I felt drinking them, so I only drank like a half of one. And when your body's telling you that, you avoid it because you're like, well, this is for me. So I think this year I quit doing stuff for myself. I quit being so self-needy in the sense that I've always had to please whatever
instant gratification,
whatever my body. Oh, I want something sweet. I want this. I want It's like, no, that none of that matters. What matters is my family and life and what it is we're doing, and for myself to be happy and healthy. So
yeah,
I tell you what, though, not drinking and smoking, I can I think more clearly. I haven't been getting hardly any sleep because of this rash thing, but I still feel great.
Yeah.
Which is good.
You're getting better sleep than you did.
I wouldn't say that, but I can still go out. I can go the whole day without feeling all groggy or bogged down.
Yeah.
Which is saying a lot.
We introduced coffee, I think, last week in the last week's vlog. But
we did start coffee like 6 days in, and now we switched to decaf.
I got decaf coffee after our conversation on here. That's right, because people were like, "Oh, half calf," and I just got decaf coffee. I feel like it helps again stick with that mental clarity. I'm not getting all like this buzz in my head because of the caffeine.
One thing I noticed switching to decaf coffee though is I used to have 1.5, 2 cups of coffee, and I'd be like, "All right, I'm good." Well, with the decaf coffee, I can just keep drinking because like the body doesn't get its cap. It's used to a certain amount of, whatever that caffeine sensation is. It's a filler. You just keep drinking it now. So now I'm just like, okay, well, what's the point of just drinking coffee? It doesn't make any sense. So that's a whole new mindset where I've got to train my brain that, okay, I'm not having the caffeine. I'm just drinking the coffee because it's warm and it's an introduction to the day.
Yeah.
I think we should just switch to tea.
Yeah. So we're going to be looking for, I harvested some dandelion root and chicory root, but it's not nearly enough. And we don't have an oven to roast it and blah, blah, blah. So I think until that transition happens of being able to forage it come the spring, we'll most likely go to like a health food store and get dandelion and chicory root coffee.
And this is coconut water.
Yeah. So.
And here in Quartzsite, they have a secondhand food store that most everything is expired. This is not yet, but you can get these for $1 a piece. So. Nope.
So yeah. So that's kind of where we're at today. We're kind of all over the place, a little jumbled. Zion literally was just fevering last night, all night. Mm-hmm. That's probably why my brain is a little foggy too, is the fact that I did not get any sleep because I was literally
Skyen
monitoring.
Was fevering the night before that. So Skyen got it first for 2 nights, and then Zion ended up getting it.
So it's been a week. It's been one of those weeks. And it's amazing with the remedies on hand. I'm able to really manage the symptoms, but when the body gets a virus, it has to get out of the virus. And Zion tends to fever really hot. He always has. So I was up most of the night, placing my hands on him and cooling off certain parts of his body while I was holding him and things like that. So,
the used bread store. Yeah, the store in town here is called the Scratch and Dent.
And
then there's another one called the Ding and Dent.
It's called the Grocery Liquidators now. They
they changed their name. Because most of the cans in there are like dented.
So Mark, not to send you a sales pitch, Mark, but I do have an incredible insomnia plant remedy. Somebody who found us through YouTube, I messaged it to him and he used it and had amazing success with it. So
you could find that.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I don't know if we have that one listed on our website.
It is. The insomnia one, yeah.
Okay.
Crazy Raw Granny. Hey, how's it going? She said, how high do you let his fever get? So to be honest, I don't have a thermometer.
We're really not in control of those types of things.
I am.
In that sense. I mean, we put a cold towel on their head.
So Travis did not get up all night and monitor and give him fever few every couple hours when his fever was spiking beyond what I felt was comfortable. So when it feels to be about 103, maybe 104, I don't let it get so hot. It's to the touch. So really, if it's getting to that point where under his armpits, they feel way too hot to the touch and they're not cooling off with my cooler hands. I was giving him a fever few tincture at those points. And then he'd fever again. And when it got to that point that it was getting just so hot, I'd give him the feverfew tincture, really just managing it because fevers are incredibly healthy for the body. They kill bacterias, they kill the viruses that are in our body. So I'm a big proponent of letting children fever it out and letting it break naturally. But I will do feverfew tincture or feverfew tea if I have the feverfew with me to help bring that down when it's getting to a point that we don't have a tub that I can put him in cool water and things like that. Yes, dangerous for the brain above 104. That's exactly it. So I let it get to a point of like it getting high. So last night it was probably around 103. Any warmer than that, and he, when you're warmer than 103, you can go into those delusional states. But every time I talked to him, he was coherent. He was able to actually take the tincture from me. So again, Zion tends to get very high fevers, and this is something that I've been able to really regulate with just skin to skin contact, really helping him cool off with my own body temperature, helping his body regulate. I was actually going to look into a study of that because it happened with Skyanne too. When she was fevering, when I put her body against my skin and held her, her body would self-regulate and lower the fever to my body temperature.
Can we play Necklace in here?
So,
couple more minutes.
A couple more minutes and then we can play.
So that's just how I've been doing things. We don't ever use like Tylenol. The last time we used Tylenol was after Zion got a procedure and they told us to use it. And then I read the box and there was high fructose corn syrup in children's Tylenol. And I went, never again. Never again will I use a product that has red dye number 40 and high fructose corn syrup to heal my child. So that was a little bit of a rant, but there you have it. Yeah, Kevin Jack, the fever is good to have. It's your body fighting off the bug. And not to throw you off the wagon, 2 shots of hot rum and a dollop of pure honey and a barf bucket close. Yeah, well, with the tinctures, all of my tinctures are alcohol-based. So,
well, I gave him yesterday. I gave him a glass of orange juice.
Oh, and that
that cleansed him.
That brought it right up.
Yeah.
But yeah. So all of my tinctures being alcohol-based go under the tongue directly into the bloodstream. Within 1 dose of the stomach bug, Zion's stomach was done. He didn't vomit again. Skyanne, I didn't give it to her until the morning because she was throwing up all night. And she ended up puking for like 8 times before I gave her the stomach bug tincture, and then that stopped it. So the remedies work really quickly. It's just if I'm in a mindset of like actually getting out of bed and able to function enough to grab them or not. So that happened with that. So I think we'll be finished rambling at you because that's very much what this week has been. Just like this bleh of all sorts of.
I think it's been good though. It's a good update. I think we had some decent information, and thanks everyone for hanging out with us.
Yeah, we really appreciate you guys coming on live, your comments, your encouragement, you being here. Sometimes we're like, well, why are we doing YouTube? What are we even doing? And when you guys show up and share your insights and share what you've got going on, and
I think in my mind, when you say why are we doing it, and I question myself at the same time, I think that has yet to show itself. I think that this is all just kind of procedure for, in a year or two when we start to really figure out how this process goes with the whole foraging and everything. And I think you guys will get more of a backstory on us too as we go on, all the things that we've done. I mean, both of our kids, our home births, and it goes on and on and on and on as far as all the things that we've done to get to this point in our lives. And we'll share all that stuff with you in due time, and it will all make sense eventually.
Yeah.
So, but until then, we all get to enjoy the ride and share our stories together. So
And
I think that's it.
Foraging, somebody brought up mushrooms. We will hopefully find a wonderful mushroom guide who will teach and guide us into mushroom foraging.
That's what we need, because I tried to do it on my own, and it's very confusing.
Well, I mean, there's a few morels, lobster mushrooms.
Well,
there's a few
turkey
that are
tails. There's some that are easily identifiable, but then there's a lot of others that are just questionable.
I love it. We love you. Thank you so much for just sharing space with us and being here and letting us chat at you and actually getting, chatting back with us and sharing your wisdom and where you're at in your lives. So we will be back next Wednesday, and that's the plan. We're going to stick to Wednesdays.
Well,
Wednesdays seem to be working.
Don't say that. It might end up being Tuesdays. We don't know yet. For now, it's
once a week. We're actually getting it. We've actually done it.
We got two. We got 2 down. So
we've got 3. This is number 3. So
we did. I was thinking about the beginning of the year, but yes, you're right.
So we've done 3 consistently in a row. That's a big deal. Woohoo!
That is a big deal. We got so much stuff to do, but it's nice to really take the time to just forget about all this stuff and hang out.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Okay.
We'll see you guys next week.
Yep.
And stomach bug equals quick detox. You're absolutely right. Miss number 2, you can go back to that one. That was much more cohesive of a conversation. But we're going to continue on cleaning
you don't have to keep kicking yourself. I think it's been good.
Our body. I don't know.
All right,
this
guys.
has been quite a journey. Thanks for sticking with us.
We'll see you next week.
See ya.